The Atari Creep YouTube channel is intended for a mature audience. Regardless of the subject matter, this video may contain strong language, simulated violence, and psychological nudity. Viewer discretion is advised. What's up? Creepers and Geekers, Chris the Atari Creep here. How's everyone doing today? Oh my god, I just stumbled all over that intro. Oh my god, have I not had enough coffee? What's going on, everybody? So what we're looking at here is not the subject of the video, but it's a great segue into it. This is the broken remains of a Z-Bot. You remember Z-Bots from, I think they were from the 90s, definitely the 90s, maybe late 80s, because I think they came around the same time as Monster in My Pocket and stuff like that. But we're not here to talk really about that. I do want to note that this thing looks like the love child of Rob the Robot and Johnny 5. It's a toy whose neck broke off of the body, and someone slathered it with paint, so I'm going to slowly bring it back to somewhat of a form of glory. But I figured since I had this out, this would be a perfect segue into a topic that I'm actually really excited about. It's probably the number 2 thing I'm excited about when it comes to the Intellivision Amico. Plus, we haven't really talked about the Amico too much lately. So I figured it was about time that I threw the word out there just to keep it fresh in the ears of your, if you will. And we're going to talk about the physical media. The physical media for the Intellivision Amico. And before we talk about my predictions and my piddly wants and needs, I think we need to establish what we think the physical media is going to consist of. Not necessarily specifically the item, but how it's going to work. And Tommy has said multiple times, he's teased us with this, saying, if you collect things, there will definitely be a physical media, something out there for your taste. Personally, and I think this might even just be like, common sense. Physical media for the Intellivision Amico is obviously not going to be something that you can insert into the console. Maybe USB, and we'll talk about that here in a few minutes. But I honestly think it's just going to be a physical thing, like, say, this robot here, once together, that will have an RFID chip integrated into the design of the item. And simply you tap it to your controller or the console, whatever has the reader. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the controller. And it loads the game digitally onto your machine. I honestly think that's going to be everything when it comes to physical media on the Amico. But I thought it would be fun to explore a couple of ideas, given that being what we're going to base everything off of. And just parade a few things in front of the camera, and maybe make a prediction or 12, or show my piddly wants and needs, and have a little bit of fun with it. But one of the things I remember people collecting a ton of in the 80s was bubblegum cards, mainly sports ones, baseball being, of course, the number one. I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, he's got the MLB license already. Now, would he be able to do, like, an entire set of 800 or whatever, like we used to seek out for? No, of course not. There'd probably be some key players or something that signed up with the Amico or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how any of that would work. I'm not a business guy. But I think it would be a no-brainer since he has the baseball license. And if he's going to be able to use players and teams' names, to do something to like, maybe a 5-pack, put a little piece of gum in there, and one of the cards will be a special one that has the RFID scanner in it. I think that'd be really fun for people who still enjoy this kind of thing. I have these cards here, and it's basically just the box art for the games. I mean, he could do something like this, too, with all of his games, and then maybe sell a special booklet for it? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I don't know. That literally just came to my mind. But every game that comes out will have a trading card, maybe with all the people's information on the back and an RFID chip inside. I think that would be fitting. That would be great. Not necessarily to riff off of the licenses again, but you also have to think of that. He has to have the licenses for some of these things, like the MLB for the baseball cards. And in this case, I believe he has Hot Wheels. He has Hot Wheels from Mattel. And I think this would be another no-brainer. Look at the hot dog car. I absolutely love this. This is the greatest. Yes. The spoiler. It's a grill. It's a grill, and it's a spatula. It's a hot dog. I've always wanted to open up a hot dog shop. I owned one. I bought into one once, and, things happen. Whatever. I've always wanted to open one called the Digital Dog. Put a couple of game consoles in there at the tables for people with little screens, Maybe just do the Retron stuff. But regardless, we're not here to talk about any of that. But I think this is honestly, this is the money right here. People love cars. People love physical things to hang on to, and you can play with it. This has value. The game would be inserted inside of it. It also has play value outside of it. Plus, it's collectible. Now, look at this space vehicle. Look at this guy with 6 wheels. What does that remind you of? Moon Patrol. You can also tie it into the game itself if there's a specific vehicle, like here with the Moon Patrol buggy. This is a model kit I put together. A guy named RK, who's featured over on Willie, the Arcade USA YouTube channel. He made the kit. I built it. Something like this would be amazing. Would be a little moon buggy, maybe a little display for it. Maybe you'll have to come up with a display. I mean, he's going to have to keep it cost effective. But little vehicles, little trinkets from the actual game itself, just to give it a little bit more of a real world feel. I think this right here, this is money. This is fucking money being printed for the Amico. So talking more about licenses, I also have to think about things that people will collect, like Matchbox and Hot Wheel cars, baseball cards. I don't know if people still collect those too much, but little minifigures of your favorite characters from Amico games, or in this case, one of my biggest piddly wants and needs is another Masters of the Universe game, because he has the Mattel license, doesn't he? Does he not? Little figures, little collectible figures. These are huge right now, especially if you get into, say, Motu right here. You got a couple of different variations of collectors kicking around. Maybe you'll have just Masters of the Universe collectors who will swoop them up just to have them. And next thing you know, they're like, well, I have all these Amico games / figures. Why don't I buy an Amico too? I'm not saying that's going to work. But here's some Muscle. You remember Muscle? I got a whole bunch of these guys around. This is Monster in my pocket, which I'm more of a fan of course. Muscle, they're pretty cool, but not as cool as Monster in my pocket. I would like to have more. I think this right here is also money on top of that. In fact, I think this would be probably a bigger seller than those, because of, you got the minifigure collectors who collect any minifigure. You have the licensed collectors, say Masters of the Universe, and of course, game collectors. Amazing stuff. I think this would work fantastic, and it's one of my desires. So this next one is actually a last-minute thought. It's kind of like a Hail Mary, but I think, I don't want to keep saying the words no-brainer, but I think this one's beautiful. This is brilliant. Brilliant. Now, obviously, we can't do little miniature Sega Master Systems. This is a little 3D printed deal I got from, I think, Storm Surge and an Atari.io Secret Santa some years back. It's funny how I.O. keeps popping up. I don't do that by design, honestly, you know. But regardless, to the point, little mini Intellivision Amicos in different colors and what have you. If you can only afford one actual console, which, you know, I mean, let's face it, realistically, that's all you really need. But you would like to have the variation of colors, well, you just get the little mini ones with the game built into it, and you can display it on your shelf, or maybe display it around the Amico, depending on how you have that presented in your home. But more importantly, I was thinking about, when he was talking about releasing the original games in their original format, he wanted to wait a little while to do it, and he was going to do it in packs for like $10. Like packs of 10, maybe 20, I don't know. I don't remember the exact number, so don't quote me. But can you imagine the original Intellivision in a miniature form with that pack built into it? How perfect is that, Tommy? If you're listening to any of this Masters of the Universe, please, for the love of God, that would be amazing. Little mini Intellivision consoles with the original games built into them, and then you could do the Intellivision 2, that little white one, and then, I don't know, maybe the voice module will have the actual voice games on it, and you can actually stick it in. Oh my God, that would be so amazing. I literally just thought of that one right now. Maybe even the Sears Telegames one, which is my favorite Intellivision console. Yeah, it would be great. It would be fantastic. I think that right there, that's the ticket. All right, so this next one, just kind of it was in the way, so I pulled it out anyway. This is a USB flash drive. It's like a thumb drive thingy, okay? But it's also a transformer. It does. It legitimately transforms if it'll focus. I'm not going to transform it. I'll just show you that the parts move, okay? I'll never get this thing back. But let's say he did get the Transformers as a license. He could do something like this, but it's more the idea of what this is. It's a USB stick maybe some of these games could be on USB and just jam it into the back of the machine. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's going RFID with all of them. But this is an idea, something like this, a little thumb drive with that's not rewritable or however that works, built into something similar to this. Like in this case, it's a Transformers theme, so it actually transforms. And that could apply with pretty much anything that we're talking about here, with the exception, of course, the bubblegum cards, because how do you put a thumb drive inside of a bubblegum card? I don't know. But I don't know, I just thought I'd throw that one in there just for fun, just for an idea. But last but certainly not least, I'm pretty damn sure this is going to be slated for one of the ideas. If it's not, the folks over at Intellivision have lost all of my credibility and respect. Miniature versions of this right here. Miniature versions. A tiny little cartridge inside of a tiny little box with a tiny little manual. I don't know about the overlay, but I mean, you get the point. Little versions, maybe a little bit smaller than, say, a bubblegum pack or something like that. That you just pull the cartridge out, you tap it to the machine, and then you can display something like this on your shelf. Little mini Intellivision games. I think that would be amazing, especially with, like, say, a mini console. Again, I didn't think of that. It was a last-minute addition. But I'm pretty damn sure this is something that they're going to go with. It would be stupid if they didn't. So there you go, guys. That's my prediction and my piddly wants and needs when it comes to physical media on the Amico. This is something I'm extremely excited for. I cannot wait for the reveal of this. I'm pretty damn sure, without wink, wink, nudge, nudging, everything I've said out loud, Tommy has already said publicly, with the exception of me talking about these items. He hasn't gone into specifics. But I'm pretty sure we can figure out what's going on from there on out. This is the part of the Amico that I'm most excited about, aside from the actual console itself. I can't wait for the reveal of this. I cannot wait. I'm pretty damn sure I hit some of these nails on the head without hearing anything from Tommy. He hasn't told me anything specific about this. Anything I've said that wasn't speculation or a desire. Something that he's already said publicly, so I'm not giving any insider trader information. But little minifigs, cars, miniature things here. I think everything here is gold. I think it's gold. It's a license to steal money, Tommy. But more importantly, there's mini consoles. Oh man, I think I might even have to charge you a fee for taking that idea. It's so fucking brilliant. Unless you can prove that you've already planned on doing that, then I'll just let it be. But either way, kidding of course, I'm not on any payroll. Guys, let me know down in the comments. There's probably a bajillion things that you could come up with that I didn't even think about. This is just a few things to get the pot going. Tell me down below. More importantly, come over to my Discord server. Link is down below. There's a whole bunch of people, and we're having a good time. I asked this very question, and there were some very interesting answers that I did not bring up here. So come on over, join the conversation, or tell me down below what you think. Which one of these ideas is your favorite? Which one of these ideas you think is going to happen? Which do you think is completely ludicrous and will never happen? And then give me your ideas that I haven't spoken about. Guys, thank you always so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope your week went well. By the time I put this up, it'll probably be Friday. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care. Creep it real. And bye-bye.